and the good folks from G1 back.
Slightly angled.
Alright, so in the box,
I don't unbox it right now. And this cafe's got free Wi-Fi, so I'll give it a shot.
little adventures and you talk to different people, and I don't know if I fully get this part, but that's okay.
Feel good about talking longer? I don't know about that.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome to GadgetDog. I'm Noah from PhoneDog.com, your host for the next, 5-10 minutes. You give us that much time, we'll tell you what we need to know about the world of technology and gadgets. This is GadgetDog episode number 1. Thanks for tuning in. Special thanks to everybody who is hopping over from the live casting stuff we were doing in the fall and early winter, end of the year 2008. We're kind of moving to this video podcast format for now, using the live casting thing for special quick hits here and there, but it's an evolving process. So as always, send us your thoughts and comments, infodog@phonedog.com, or you can head over to the PhoneDog site, hit up the forums, and let us know what you think about everything we're doing. And if you're already subscribed to the PhoneDog TV podcast, video podcast, thanks for tuning in to GadgetDog as well. What is going on, everybody? First off, today, February 6th, 2009, Amazon and Google announced that they will be bringing all kinds of electronic book content to the cell phone platform. No real details at this point, but Amazon's got a couple 100,000 titles in the ebook format for their Kindle electronic book reader, and Google's got, over 1 million titles in their public domain Google Book Search libraries. So it would stand to reason that they'll be doing something, combining all that content to get it out to, maybe Kindle 2, maybe Android-powered cell phones. So we'll have to stay tuned for details on that. Personally, I don't know. I got an Android-powered cell phone right here, in fact, the G1, and I'm just thinking, reading a book on this thing, it's awful small, One thing to do some quick web browsing, do your email, that kind of stuff on here, but reading an entire book on a cell phone screen, just the words Google search, you don't want to get them much smaller than that. So we'll have to see. That being said, this coming Monday, February 9th, Amazon has scheduled a press conference at which they're expected to unveil the Kindle 2. Not to be confused with Breaking 2 Electric Boogaloo, the Kindle 2 is the second generation of their electronic book reader, which is rumored to be super sleek and sexy as compared to the first version. I've heard phrases like, it's more like a fourth generation product than a second generation product. We'll have to see. I keep saying project, Freudian slip, I don't know. Here's the thing about Kindle. Everybody I know who has one loves it, but everybody I know who has one is A, rich, B, an avid reader, and C, travels a lot for business. Now, the average American consumer is neither rich, nor an avid reader, nor a heavy traveler. So it kind of remains to be seen, for $350 plus the cost of each individual book, how many of these things they're really going to move. I'm not saying everybody who has one is like that, but that's kind of the general demographic, at least that I've come across. You don't see nearly as many Kindles when you're riding, say, the public transportation system here in the San Francisco Bay Area as you do, iPods, MP3 players, that kind of thing, let alone good old-fashioned books. And the people I know who are avid readers, but, neither super rich nor travel a lot, or actually even some who are, they tend to read books, You can buy a book, you can read it, you can pass it along to people. Better yet, you can join the library and get the books for free. What I'd love to see is Kindle bundled with a subscription service. So you pay whatever, you pay $15-20 a month, all you can read. I don't know if that would make economic sense for Amazon, but it seems like it would help push more units. Anyway, February 9th, Monday, Kindle 2 expected to be unveiled. Well, whatever it is, we'll bring it to you, don't worry. In other news, Comic-Con 2009 is going on right now in New York. I know because my friend Don's there, pushing video games for the big video game company he works at. Comic-Con is a comic convention, but really it's so much more than that because comics have spilled over into so many other genres. A couple, big video game, not necessarily announcements, but hands-on reports come out of Comic-Con. There's the new Vin Diesel game. Vin Diesel lookalikes been spotted running around Comic-Con. There's also the new Grand Theft Auto game, Chinatown Wars. Saw over on joystick.com some hands-on stuff about that, so check that out if you're into the whole roam around a virtual city, steal cars, and jack people up kind of thing. So Comic-Con 2009, if you happen to be there, if you went there, if you're going there, hit us up in the forums at phonedog.com. Let us know what you think. All right, as promised, one of the things we want to do here on GadgetDog is not only bring you tech news, but bring you quick hit product reviews and, dip into the reader mailbag, trying to answer some of your questions. So for this first episode, since this is a Phone Dog production, I am the senior editor over at phonedog.com. We figured, you know what? Phone review makes sense. It's the T-Mobile Curve 2 8900 from BlackBerry. This next generation Curve, the 8900, has been out for a little while on non-US carriers. T-Mobile is the first carrier to bring it to the US. It's not actually available in stores yet. Should be available shortly. But, we got a copy a little bit ahead of time, and we hear that they're shipping out to some business users already. And straight up, in a nutshell, I think the Curve 2 is going to be the most popular BlackBerry you're going to see for the next year or so, especially in its different incarnations on different carriers and possibly, slightly different variations when it comes to the CDMA carriers, Sprint and Verizon in the US. But I really like this phone. I've tried the Bold. I love the Bold. I tried the Storm. I hated the Storm. And I have to say, the Curve 2 kind of brings the best of both worlds, I think, because you get the super high-res display and smaller form factor of the Storm, but then you get the full QWERTY keyboard that you find on the Bold. So, you get 480 by 360. Did I just say so, You get 480 by 360 screen resolution, and even though the screen is physically a little bit smaller than the Bold and much smaller than the Storm, it's still really crisp, really high res, great for watching videos. It's got the BlackBerry OS 4.6, which includes a web browser that's far better than previous generation BlackBerries. Full HTML experience, renders really well, if not, quite on par with the mobile Safaris and Operas and even Skyfire and Android browsers of the world. It's quite good, just a hair below those. Full HTML experience. You can see it renders the phonedog.com homepage pretty faithfully. A little bit of an issue with the tabs up there, and you're not going to get the Flash support and that kind of stuff. But definitely you can get a full HTML web browsing experience out of this, which is great. It's got the headphone jack, so you can listen to music, you can watch your videos on it. The one drawback about the T-Mobile version, no 3G, which in this day and age, really everybody expects 3G, so that's kind of a drag. You get GSM phone connectivity, you get edge browsing, you get Wi-Fi browsing, and then you can also use the Wi-Fi for UMA calling. T-Mobile calls it hotspot, and basically that means that you can do your phone calling over a Wi-Fi network. You don't pay for minutes, you do pay for a monthly service charge to use the service, but when you're on Wi-Fi, no minutes, and the call quality is actually a little bit stronger, particularly if you live in an area where cell phone service is a little bit spotty. If you connect over Wi-Fi, your calls are solid. That being said, in my testing, calls sounded great on this phone. Signal strength is generally really good. The edge data is more than fast enough for BlackBerry's push email, which works terrifically on this phone. The trackball is great. It seems to be a little sturdier than the old generation Curves, a little less space for dust to get in. The QWERTY keyboard, while not as big as Bold's, is very comfortable. 3-megapixel camera with a light and video capture. It's a cell phone camera, but for a BlackBerry, it's about as good as any BlackBerry out there. And of course, the new generation OS 4.6, much more stable than the Storm when it first came out. Haven't really had a few issues with some Wi-Fi wonkiness, with networks kind of dropping in and out a little bit, but that's been pretty minimal. Other than that, the phone's performed like a champ, and I like the brushed back much better than the leather back on the Bold. So there you go, big thumbs up for the Curve 2 8900, the T-Mobile version. Much more on this phone, including a full video review, full written review over on phonedog.com. Speaking of phones, we're geared up for Mobile World Congress 2009 in Barcelona. Lucky me, I'm flying to Spain at the end of next week to hit up the show. So starting on Sunday, February 15th, we'll have all kinds of coverage from Mobile World Congress of all the new phones coming out. Hey, my laptop just went to sleep. Come on now. All the new phones coming out at Mobile World Congress, so stay tuned for that. Here on GadgetDog, of course, PhoneDog TV if you're a hardcore phone fan, and over on PhoneDog.com, all the coverage. That being said, it's the weekend. I'm out of here. Have a great weekend. For everybody at GadgetDog and PhoneDog.com, I'm Noah. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.